Yo, 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 what's good, people? It's your boy Jason Guna back again with some more content for the people. Yes, as you see in the title, people, it's a Reggae Girl stream. Of course, you know, we have taken the trip over to Brazil. We're going to play two friendlies over there in Brazil versus um, against Brazil, of course. And I just wanted to go through the team squad selected by Coach Hubert Busby and also go ahead and just give a little recap of how the girls did this season, where they currently are in their careers, and just give a breakdown of what we think it's going to look like when they touch the pitch, and also um, give a little focus on the youth movement because as I see it, there's a lot of young names in the squad and I like the looks of that. So I just want to discuss that as well. Um, yeah, so we're just gearing up. I'm gonna let some people come into the show. I have shared it around to various places, so hopefully, we can go ahead and wait a second before it fills up. But of course, you know, as soon as you enter the building, hit that like button, that thumbs up button. I'm going live directly through YouTube today. Just wanted to see how that worked out for me. Never done this before, so I'm not using my normal system that I'm used to. And we're just gonna try doing it this way for once, people. See how it works out. Hope everybody had a good day. Um, I have been good. Been a little busy today, but I'll have a lot more time in the next couple of days for some more content. We'll be dropping a thumbnail for an upcoming video tomorrow. It will be the first interview ever on the channel, Jason Guna TV. We have a special one for you. So look out for that thumbnail sometime in the morning for an afternoon interview. Yes, so I know the time will be about 2 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 1 p.m. in Jamaica. And if you are in Europe, that should be about 6 hours or 5 hours ahead of that. So should be nighttime for you there as well. So yes, look out for that tomorrow, people. I will be dropping a thumbnail. But for now, it is Reggae Girls time. So yes, people, we are going to, you know, break down everything, look at the squad. Yeah, so we're gonna break down the squad, of course. Also, we're going to, you know, hate to do this, but we're gonna take a look and see, you know, where there's some players left off that could have, you know, could have gotten a chance to get into the squad. So we'll talk about players on the fringe for me, and also we're going to discuss Busby's tactics. You know, we heard him break down, you know, what he envisions for the Reggae Girls moving forward, especially as it relates to us playing against these, you know, top tier teams in the world. And, you know, we want to be able to hold our own and maybe be more on the front foot versus these teams. So we want to see if, you know, that aspiration that he has is put into practice or not. Are we going to see a more expansive Jamaica versus Brazil? Or, you know, when the time comes in game, will he have to kind of, you know, be a little more pragmatic to try and get the better result? We'll see. And again, people, we're going to discuss the youth movement. So first and foremost, let me bless up the people who are in the building from earlier. Of course, Fresh God is here. 707 subs. Yes, yes, yes. The subscribers are growing nicely. Really, really appreciate that. Um, and we are very thankful for that as well. As the channel grows, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from people. I guess they're liking some of the things and the ways I do the thing, and that is very, very, very. I'm very thankful for that. You understand? So anybody who is new to the channel, you know, think about subscribing. Definitely take in the content. If you do happen to subscribe, turn on the notification bell. As right now, I don't really have a way to have a set time for each show, so you guys just have to be on the lookout for it. And of course, if you're watching it on the replay, definitely watchable content if you didn't catch it live. Absolutely, we're going to try to educate the people a bit more about the team. You know, it's all been reggae boys lately. Of course, you know, we have those crunch World Cup qualifiers coming up June 6th, National Stadium. People want to plug that real quick. Of course, if you are still looking to purchase tickets, go to the JFF website. When you get there, you'll see a buy tickets icon. Click it. When you click that icon, you will obviously you choose bleachers or grandstand. Before you purchase the ticket, look for where it says use promo code and be sure to put in Jason Guna TV for 10% off your ticket. So yes, people, we're gonna have way more on that as the week develops and as the week goes. But I just wanted to go ahead and drop that again, people. The JFF website, buy tickets. Use promo code Jason Guna TV, all one word, and you will receive 10% off discount on your ticket purchase. All right, so go ahead and do that, people. Fresh God letting everybody know what's going on in the building. Respect Fresh every time. Next up, Sports Talk. Big up yourself, Francis. Yeah, man, I saw you few nights now on Ryan's show. Love the content. Love what you're doing. Definitely glad that you're back and pushing out some content. Definitely like your demeanor and everything. You know, really cool to have a different voice in the space. Fresh God blessing up people. Derek G asking, is Chanel Buckley in the squad? No, Derek G. Chanel did not make this one. Sadly, she is not in this squad actually. So yeah, that is the case there. Yeah, see, Fresh answering you. Shanice Foster, no, Shanice Foster is not in the squad either. Let's see, Joel Smith, bless up yourself. Tuffy Rudy, bless up. Marlon King, blessing up myself on the chat. Big up yourself, Marlon King. Respect. You did ask me if I had a show today, so really happy to see you, Marlon King. Bless up. Thanks for promoting and supporting the Reggae Girls. They deserve it. Absolutely, Tuffy Rudy. It is something that, you know, we definitely want to highlight. Of course, obviously, we know the Reggae boys are always going to, you know, I guess you could say drive the conversation more often than not. But I wanted to shed a light on the girls tonight because, you know, they do have a game coming up on Saturday and another one again on Tuesday. So I wanted to just go ahead and break down their squad, talk about the tactics a little bit. So yeah, we're about 6 minutes into the live. So I think it's time now we go ahead and pull up the squad. So I'm just gonna read the squad list for everyone tuning in. The goalkeepers are as follows: Sydney Schneider, Rebecca Spencer, Leah Brooks, right? So those are the three goalkeepers. You know, really, basically the three goalkeepers we took to the World Cup, so some continuity there. The defenders, Kanya Plummer, Chantel Swaby, Alison Swaby, Denisha Blackwood, Vian Sampson, Naya Cardoza, and Lauren Reed. So of course, two of those names you might remember from the Gold Cup squad that we recently had that fell a bit short of qualifying for the Gold Cup proper. Those would be Naya Cardoza and Lauren Reed. Lauren Reed happened to play pretty much every game in the series at centre back. Naya Cardoza did not see the pitch, but she was in the squad. Midfielders now, we have Jade Bailey, Drew Spence, Atalanta Primus, Peyton McNamara, and Israela Groves. So, of course, Izzy Groves would be the one that you would remember from the most recent squad. She would have taken part in the Gold Cup qualifiers as well. Combative midfielder, has a range shot on her as well. Recently played her most recent season of football in England. So we'll get to all of what the girls did, but I just wanted to let you know a little bit about Izzy Groves as well, one that is following on from the Gold Cup squad. And then the forwards are Tiffany Cameron, Kayla McKenna, Paige Bailey Gale, Trudy Carter, Cameron Simmons, Amelia Van Zanten, and Jody Brown. Now, the last name on the list that was given to us initially would have been Davia Richards, who would have been another holdover from the Gold Cup squad. But she has since been replaced by Soleil Washington, another World Cup veteran of the most recent World Cup, recently signed on to play at Florida State University. So, yes, that would be the full 23 there from goalkeepers to forwards. First off, people, what are your initial thoughts on the squad? For me, I wasn't surprised by a lot of the names. You know, I figured there would be about 3 to 4 holdovers from the Gold Cup squad. Some of the ones that made it, I wouldn't have predicted personally, but we'll get to that as I get to my players that I believe are on the fringe of a squad like of this nature at the moment. But yeah, I think, you know, really happy to see a lot of the World Cup contingent back. I think if we're being totally honest with ourselves, you know, that squad that we took to the World Cup probably comprised most of what would be the best we have to offer at this level. So to see the bulk of the squad come from that group, you know, really, you know, made me happy. Glad that the saga that was the post World Cup and post, you know, I guess you'd say those Canada games, you know, that saga, it has come to an end, thankfully, and long may that be behind us. Hopefully we don't have to ever get back to those days again. Of course, the one glaring omission from that squad, you know, unless you've been living under a rock, you would have known that our, you know, talismanic figure, our striker Bunny Shaw, who won the Player of the Season in England this year after a goal-scoring, record-breaking season with Manchester City, did break her foot towards the end of the season and will not be available for these friendlies. So, yeah, that is a tough one. Let's see what people are thinking. I think people, to be honest, this squad, when you look at who was available, who we could have picked, I'd probably say it gets about a 7.5. It could be a little higher. I do think that, while I appreciate the youth movement and a target on the youth, I thought there may have been some more accomplished players that we could have used as well, to make some of the spaces up. But look, I understand that, we're trying to find the right balance, and it's not like the young players that we have don't have experience as well. When we're speaking of a Soleil Washington, this is somebody that has played at a World Cup at this point, even though she's really young. So we have to take her age with a grain of salt, and we have to realize that perhaps this player is, a bit more advanced than others of her age, right? So, overall, I would give it about a 7.5. Room for improvement, but I do think that it's a good squad. Let's see what people are saying. Float, blessing me up, bless up yourself, Float. So says it's a solid squad. Tuffy Rudy says Grooves, very solid. Tuffy says no surprises, quality squad. Greetings, give thanks for the girls stream. Yeah, man, positive. We are trying to push out the positive vibrations towards the Reggae Girls as well. Float says just missing my girl Wilshire. Yes, Wilshire is one that I was gonna place in one of the segments of the stream that was gonna be the players on the Fringe. That she had a really, really successful World Cup. I think for her, I guess the one thing that's really holding her back at the moment is, lack of playing time at the professional level. Last I checked, she was still trying to secure a club, but I'm going to check on that as we speak, people, because I hadn't actually looked her up yet. I was going to wait until I got to that part, but I'm curious now. Let's see. So it's saying that she's at Stade de Reims in France, but not making many appearances. So that could be one of the reasons why she is not on here. Yeah, Stade de Reims. And it's showing that she only made one appearance for the season. So not sure if she went out on loan after that or if she's just injured since that game. It's not really giving me much on here where I'm looking. But yeah, she signed back in September at the start of the season. So yeah, I do remember reading that back then, when we were going on with the issues with the team. So yeah, a tough one there, with her being in that league, unless she's injured. That's a tricky one for me, because when we look at the squad and we try to pick a team, we're gonna see that maybe those left and right back spots aren't the most solid right now. So, her experience could have been used for sure. So I'm gonna do some more research and see if that was an injury-based omission there. Let's see. Claudia Fletcher, respect, bless up yourself. Everybody remember, like the video. We currently have about 21 people in the building and we're on 14 likes. So come on, at least let the views like or match the likes. Of course, people, you don't know, we appreciate any kind of donations that the show might get. So, the super chat feature is available to you people. If you want to bless up the girls, bless up the show, bless up whatever, bless up Jason Guna TV, why not? Go ahead and drop a super chat for your comment and we'll definitely highlight it and it will be greatly appreciated, of course. Yeah, man. But subscribe to the channel, like the video. Those things are a given, right? The best are very close to the available girls. The best available girls. Yes, Toffee, I agree. Is Groves the female version of Damian Lowe? Derek G, she does have an eye for a tackle. That is for sure. Danny Dredd, up. Legendary callings to many shows. Danny Dredd always have some solid points, man. And yeah, man, somebody that you can tell really love the football and just want to learn about the football. So Danny Dredd, you're in the right spot because you're going to learn about some of these females on this team right now, right? So yeah, man, if no one else is doing it right now, we are going to do it. So yes, let's dive right in now to the actual players in the squad. And we're just going to go through them and actually highlight their league seasons this season. So the first player we're going to go through straight through the squad, Rebecca Spencer, people. Rebecca Spencer. So, of course, Rebecca Spencer had a wonderful World Cup, uh, arguably one of the better goalkeepers in the World Cup, going through the group stage with a clean sheet in all three matches. Definitely incredible performance there. But this season, of course, people, she plays for Tottenham Hotspur in England, club teammate with Drew Spence. And Rebecca Spencer had a solid season for her team. She started 16 games in the league. It's a league with 12 teams, so they play 22 games. So she started the majority of the games. Had an overall 6.96 rating on the season. Finished the year off with 2 clean sheets out of those 16 games. And of course, Spurs did not have the best run in the league, but she did get her team all the way to the FA Cup final, where they did fall short to Manchester United. So United actually winning both cups, male and female, in England this year. But Rebecca Spencer definitely had a solid season. I remember last season she split duty a lot of the time with the other goalkeeper they have. I believe she's a Finnish international, the Finland national goalkeeper. But this year seems to really have nailed down that starting role, starting the majority of the games, pretty much after splitting time the first few. Definitely was able to nail it down and definitely help them throughout their cup run as well. So Rebecca Spencer, solid goalkeeper. Might not be the tallest goalkeeper, but I do think her positioning, her reaction time, really good. Definitely very good. Distribution out of the back. At times for her club has been found wanting in possession, trying to take some maybe unnecessary risks at times. But I do think that she's solid around there with the feet, and definitely somebody that once they're in a groove in a match can definitely pull off some blinding saves. So, which we witnessed in the World Cup as well. So Rebecca Spencer for me, the number one goalkeeper for sure as far as this Reggae Girl squad is concerned. Yeah, Rebecca Spencer, everybody knows her by now. I think one of probably the most beloved players on the team, especially after that World Cup performance. So Rebecca Spencer, solid season for Tottenham Hotspur, almost a 7 on sofa score. So definitely solid there. So yeah, as Float Management is saying, Becky and any 10 LOL. Yeah, man. Becky is definitely one of the mainstays in this team for sure. The next goalkeeper on the list actually is Sydney Schneider. So Sydney Schneider, people, after a brief stint over in the Czech Republic last season with what's their name again? With Sparta Praha, she returned back to the States and is now on the roster with the Chicago Red Stars in the NWSL in USA. Now, Rebecca Schneider, since making the move back, has only been able to sit on the bench behind the starter there since the season has started. So not really getting the reps in game that we would like for her at this stage. Of course, you remember Sydney Schneider from our first appearance in the World Cup. At that time, she was at the tender age of about 19, going on 20. Now she's 24 years old. Hasn't really, since that first World Cup experience, been able to nail down a starting role at the professional level. She has had backup roles in a couple of clubs in the NWSL. Took that chance over in the Czech Republic to try and get the starting role out there. Had some success, did play some UEFA Champions League qualifying games and things for her club, but I think she wanted to come back stateside and sign a 1-year deal with a contract extension at the start of this season. So, the aim for her with her club is to try to force her way into that starting role. So Float, Sydney Snyder was with Donaldson's team as the backup to Spencer, yes, but she was the starter for Menzies' team back in 2019. I don't believe Rebecca Spencer had joined the squad as yet then. So she was the starting keeper in that World Cup. But for her, I think the key is just, trying to find a situation where she can play more frequently. I do think that she showed a lot of promise in the first World Cup experience she had. I know for one, my father rates her very highly. Always has. I've tried to convince him that Rebecca Spencer is better. I don't know if he still believes that Snyder is better, but he definitely has a lot of time for her. So Um, yeah, is Donaldson at the Chicago Red Stars? Yeah, I believe he's there. Yeah. That's where he is. So yes, she's on that team, but he has her on the bench currently. He has not started her this season. So yeah, I think they have actually a former US goalkeeper, if I'm not mistaken. I'm about to check the squad real quick. Um Goalkeepers. Yeah, so basically the USA starting keeper is the goalkeeper for the Red Stars. So that's a tough situation for her to go get into because I don't see Alyssa Nair. Yeah, thank you, positive vibration. Yeah, I knew it was either a former or current USA keeper that was their keeper. So it's a bit tough for her to get into this team. Definitely a bit tough. And currently, sadly, she's actually not really featuring on the benches really. So it looks like she even has another goalkeeper ahead of her there. So tough situation for her to try to get into this team. Um, I'm sure Lauren would want to find a way, but he needs to keep his job as well. So if she's not ready, she's not ready. So Sydney Snyder definitely talented. My main concern with her is just reps. So I'm pretty sure more than likely Rebecca Spencer will get the bulk of the duty on this trip. The third goalkeeper we're taking is another from the World Cup roster, still very, very young goalie, and she goes by the name of Leah Brooks. Now, Leah Brooks is currently still in university. She is about to enter her sophomore year at Washington State University, the Cougars, out there on the West Coast. And she this is basically her third year at the institution. She redshirted her first year, which means basically she's just there developing, lifting weights, training with the team, but not playing any games. And she basically was a backup keeper last year as a freshman, did not see any minutes. And going into the sophomore season, she's hoping that that can change and she can force her way into the lineup. So, another one, folks, that really hasn't been playing besides training with her team. I'm sure they would have been playing games in the spring to gear up, and I'm sure she'll be getting some reps then. But, definitely one that we are still watching develop, and we need to see where her career goes as we move forward. But I will say at the youth levels, Leah Brooks has looked a very, very, very promising player. So Leah Brooks, one that, I'd be quite surprised if she gets any opportunities in this current tour, but you never know. Maybe I know the result matters, but I'm sure Busby would want as many players as possible to get an experience. I just don't know if the goalkeeping spot will be one of those for this particular tour, but we'll wait and see, people. But that's the goalkeeping nucleus there. One player that I would say is definitely a bit ahead of the others, definitely when you factor in what they have been doing for their club at club level. So, yeah, for me, Rebecca Spencer, the clear number one, and Schneider, due to a little more experience, would be my number two. And then Leah Brooks definitely would be the third string that really is around to try to gain as much experience as possible, based on the promise she has shown at the youth level for all the teams that she has represented in these competitions. So let's just check in here. Nair is up there in age. Yeah, she's 36 now. So Sydney time is very close. Well, in the women's game, it is not rare for players to play well, not well into their 40s, but definitely to 40, especially if she's a goalkeeper. And to be totally honest, Nair's form lately has been excellent. I mean, if you watch the She Believes Cup, which I had a chance to go and watch the game with USA and Japan in Atlanta, and I saw the final where they won on penalties. She saved a few of the penalty kicks and then converted one of the winning penalties as well. So, Nair is definitely on top form, a very high class keeper. And yeah, I think it's going to take a lot for her to displace her, even though she's getting up there in age. I think Mensa should get another look. Yeah, Mensa didn't look badly at all. She didn't look bad. That's one that I didn't really have earmarked. I didn't have her earmarked as one in the segment I was gonna do for players on the fringe, but that is not a bad shout. Mensa did look good in those games. I mean, I felt sorry for her at times with the defense that was in front of her for those what was it, the CAC games, or was it the Pan Am games? I can't remember which one. But yeah, I felt sorry for her, man. But she did pull off some good saves and was able to keep the scoreline down a bit. Trying to find her. Okay, here she is. Is her first name Rebecca? I know she goes to Fordham University. And I think her first name is Rebecca for some reason. Oh no, it's Serena. Sorry, Serena Mensah. Which Rebecca may I think about now? Not sure. Yeah, Serena Mensah. She's currently about to go into her senior year at Fordham. So yeah, that's huge. All right, no, well maybe no. It says she was a senior when she got called. So she must now be, yeah, I think she is let me check the roster. So this is the 2023 roster, and she was a senior then. So she would have graduated after this past season here and would have moved on. So we'll have to track her progress, people, see what she's gonna be up to moving forward, because she is now out of school. See if I can find anything that she's doing now. 21 years of age. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything as far as what she's doing now. So if anybody has any info on that, drop it in the chat. I'm not sure what she has going on. Charles Brahma said, big up. Just arrived. How I rate the squad. Yeah, so Charles Brahma, for me, I gave the squad a 7.5. I think it's pretty solid. Not too many complaints. There's a few players I thought maybe could have gotten a look as well. But we'll get there once I get to that players on the fringe segment that I want to go ahead and discuss. But yeah, I would say 7.5, solid squad. Not too many surprises on my end. Pretty much could have predicted a lot of the names that I saw. And most of the names made sense based on, how I've seen them perform over the course of the season. So Tuffy Rudy says she also plays as a forward alongside her twin sister during her teenage days. Oh, okay. That's what Nair used to do. Okay, well, that makes sense because she took a good penalty in that shootout. And I know whenever they have shootouts, she always is one of the five. So, yeah, man. All right, respect for the likes, people. I see the likes creep up to match how many people are live with me. So that is wonderful, people. That is wonderful. Yeah, man. So let's move into the defenders now, people. All right, so the first one on the list is going to be Kanya Plummer. So Kanya Plummer, of course, people, was the captain of the team in our first appearance in the World Cup in 2019. And yeah, she was a surprise inclusion actually to the 2023 World Cup team, as she was really coming off of, childbirth and taking a bit of time away from the game to be with her family and everything. But she was placed on that squad for 2023, and after the World Cup was able to sign a deal with Tigres in Mexico. Now her past season in the Clausura didn't really see her get that much game time. I believe she made a total of 6 appearances for them. Did score 1 goal, but yeah, I'm sure she would have hoped to have gotten more game time in that Clausura season. So yeah, she'll be going into this game, probably pretty, in shape in terms of, not putting too much taxing on the body. And when I look at this defensive lineup that has been picked, I would be surprised if Kanya Plummer doesn't start at least one of these games. So yeah, Kanya Plummer, while not having the best season as far as output and game time, I do think when you look at the makeup of this team with some of the youthful choices that I see on this defensive line, I believe that they're going to lean on Kanya Plummer's experience, and she probably, by virtue of that, will see the field quite a bit. But yeah, what do people think about Kanya Plummer, people? I think Kanya, when I look back to 2019, I thought that she's a player with a lot of heart, of course. will put her body on the line to try to get in the way of shots and things of that nature. But you know, I always felt like maybe the decision making wasn't the best. I thought she went to ground a bit too much, when she didn't need to at times. And with her, having a bit away from the game due to having a child and everything, I'm not sure if she has developed at the rate that I would have liked. She's still relatively young. I believe she's only 25 now or 24. So it's not like it's the end of the road for her by any stretch. But I would love if she can find a situation with the club level where she's getting a lot more. Yeah, she's 26 now, sorry. Where she's getting a lot more playing time. I would just love for her to have gotten more game time in Liga MX this year. It's just not enough appearances for me. The 6 appearances, we need to have a lot more appearances on her end. Fresh God says this is the Nana Low for the women team. I think that's a decent comparison. Definitely somebody that plays with their heart on their sleeve, and somebody that opposing players know when she's making her way into a tackle, they better be ready, right? So Kanya Plummer definitely can be labeled the enforcer of this team, and we'll see how much Hubert Busby relies on her in these 2 games. Big up Jason Guna. Are the girls already in Brazil? Jampiel fan, bless up yourself and respect for being here. The girls, I don't believe all of them are. I've been doing a bit of detective work. We like to do that whenever there's squads playing around the world for Jamaica. I did see some more names. Respect to JFF Live. I did see an interview posted with Earl Bailey interviewing Kayla McKenna, so she's already there. But I do believe that all of the contingent should be there, I think, by Wednesday. I think there might be 1 or 2 that might not get there till Thursday, but I believe that the bulk of them will be there by tomorrow. So not quite everybody there. It is what it is. We're not gonna harp on that too much in this stream, but yeah, they're getting there slowly but surely. All right, so the next one that I want to discuss is going to be Chantel Swaby. So Chantel Swaby, a player that I really, really like. I think she's very composed. At times, maybe can be a little more forceful in the challenge. I think sometimes she just gets beaten, just due to not maybe putting that right, force into the tackle. But I really like her composure on the ball. I do think that she's one of the ones around the back that try to, connect passes before just clearing the ball upfield. So I really like that about her. She did play her first season, or not her first season, but she did play this past season in France in the French first division, and she played for FC Fleury. So just pulling up her stats for the season, people, so you can know. Yes, she's in a recognized league, so I can get a nice rundown of the stats. So she played in Division 1 Feminine, Lyon, PSG, all the top teams there, Bordeaux. And of course, she had a 6.93 SOFA score rating, so very, very consistent on the season. She played a total of 16 games. She started 15 of them, 81 minutes per game. She had 2 clean sheets in that time, and she had no cards on the season as well. So predominantly played center back on the left side, or even sometimes at left back for her club. I would say she had a very, very good season. Definitely very consistent, a lot of starts on the year. And just really happy with her development. She's now 25 years old. I think she, has been a professional now for quite a few years. And I definitely like the progression of this player. For a long time, I thought Allison was definitely the better Swaby. Not that I've changed my tune there, but I do think that Chantel has definitely closed the gap in the last couple of years. We had some very good success in the World Cup with them as a centre-back partnership. So I am really, really curious to see if Hubert Busby explores that any more moving forward. I do think when you look at the makeup of the squad, though, I do feel like Chantel might have to play one of the right or left back spots, to be honest, just based on the makeup of the team. I think Lauren Reed definitely is a centre back. I know Naya Cardoza can play centre back and has played that in college, but I think Naya might be also one that he might look to play at right or left back. I know Naya is a right-footed player, but at times, sometimes we might have to go with that player that uses the right foot on the left-hand side as well. So curious to see how the back line looks. From his previous reign, he tended to play typically with a back four. Sometimes played a 4-4-2, sometimes a 4-2-3-1. So we'll see what he opts to go for in the game on Saturday. But I do think that the left and right back spot is a problem area, and that's a part of the reason why I gave the squad a 7.5 and not higher than that. Jean-Pierre fan, I am not certain, if I can share the screen from this because I feel like, let me see. Oh, I can't share my screen. Yo, respect Jean-Pierre fan. So all this time I'm just doing things on my own and I could show you guys while I do it. Jano Star, Jean-Pierre, respect for even asking that question. Zine, sir? Because yeah, I'll show you what I'm looking at as well. That was my plan originally, but true. May I try do something different tonight. So I'm gonna just go through YouTube itself and see what I go on. But yeah, I can do that. Alright, let me know how this stay, people. Make sure I'm turning off this though. Alright, people. So you guys, yeah, this is wonderful. Yeah, so you guys can see that, right? So this is what I was looking at just now, people. Jean-Pierre fan, you're a legend, bro. Respect. Alright, so this is Chantel Swaby, as I was saying, 6.93 on the season. There you see 25 years of age now. That's our heat map there, people. So the majority of our time was spent on the left-hand side of defense. And you can see, like, let's see, this was just the most recent game they played to end the season. Didn't have the best outing here. Lost the game 3-2. But yeah, Chantel Swaby, I think can play anywhere on this back line from left back all the way to right back. I do like her more in the center back role, but I wonder if, in this particular game and system, or not system, but these particular games, if she might have to be deployed on the right or left back side of things. Let's see, she had an awesome game here on April 14th against Bordeaux. They won 3-0. What did she do in this one? 8.5. That's a great score. So she had 2 clearances off the line. That will do it, people. Won all her duels in the match. Good passing percentage. Yeah, man. 3 tackles, 2 block shots, 2 off the line. Wow. So yeah, Chantel Swaby, solid performer. 6.93 on the season. So yeah, very, very, very good there from Chantel. So next on the list is going to be her sister, the elder Swaby, Allison. So let's look her up. I think she has 2 L's in her name. Yeah, there she goes. So she, of course, is at Milan, people. 2 years elder, 27 years of age. Also plays center back. Can operate at right back. Definitely earlier in her career she did, but as she has gotten older, has transitioned to center back for the most part. So she had a 6.81 on the season. She played 19 games, started 17 of them, did make a team of the week as well, playing 80 minutes per game. So decent season there as well. That was how they fared this season in the league. So Alison Swaby, Chantel Swaby, both playing in Europe, one in Italy, one in France. I think these are 2 of the most consistent performers for Jamaica. If you look at the last World Cup qualification cycle and the World Cup itself, these 2 have definitely become mainstays in the team, and they haven't stopped with the Reggae Girlz. They both have been able to make a name for themselves in Europe, which is very, very great. And I'm just thankful that these 2 girls represent us. I think that they are leaders on the pitch, especially Allison. You can tell that she's one that most of the team look up to. I remember in that Panama game scoring the goal in the World Cup as the captain, definitely one of those feelings that I'm sure she will remember for the rest of her life. And yeah, I think really endeared herself to the Jamaican people during that World Cup, especially. So I think that yeah, I think the Swaby sisters definitely will be mainstays in this team, definitely for the near future. And I look forward to seeing how Busby utilizes their skill set. As I said before, that Swaby partnership in the middle of the centre backs really worked in that group stage and in the World Cup period. But again, when I look at this team, I wonder if Chantel will play one of the wing back roles. I wonder. We'll have to wait and see, people. But that is Alison Swaby, excuse me. So the next one I want to look at, people, is going to be Den Blackwood, who is listed as a defender, but me personally, I would have her moving into the midfield. So she plays for Pumas in Mexico. Actually had a really good season over there. Let's see. I don't know why it's not giving me Pumas' stuff. Yeah, most recent game they played at the end of the season, she had a goal. Let's just look at her matches then. I don't know why it is not giving me her games. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so she made the transfer in January of 24 and hit the ground running. Scored in her first 1, 2, 3 appearance for them. Or actually, they're only showing me the game she scored in for some reason. Yeah, so it looks like SofaScore does not have the overall stats of this league, but she did have 6 goals in her appearances this season. I have her pulled up on another screen here, so I can tell you how many appearances total she had. Let me see. But yeah, 6 goals, good return in her first season at Pumas. Let's see, here it is. Denisha Blackwood, hold on, people. I'm just looking up one thing here, trying to get the appearances for the season and everything. All right, here we go. So she had 19 appearances, 16 starts. She scored 6 goals, had 3 yellow cards. So yeah, that is the breakdown of her season there for Denisha. They're just giving me stats from the World Cup. Had a good rating in the World Cup, the 7.05 there. So have to give it to her there. I still feel like her true strength lies attacking wise. I would probably push her into the left midfield role personally. Based on how the squad is comprised, though, I think she'll probably be playing left back again. But if it was me, people, I would be picking her as an attacker. That's where her true strength on the pitch is. She definitely has the recovery speed to play left back, but I just don't think that she has the instincts of a defender, and that to me is where she gets herself caught out. I would have her playing much closer to the opponent's goal than our own, but that's just me. Let's see. Positive Vibration says Chantel should be getting a big move soon. I wouldn't be surprised. If a larger team in the French league doesn't snap her up, for sure, because she was definitely solid in a team that isn't one of the perennial favorites in the league. She had a solid performance as a defender on one of those teams, so that's a big move for her. RR is here for the apologies. RR, nah, let me don't apologize, brother. Big up yourself, RR. Not to take you off topic, but any news why Wilshire isn't there? I liked her aggression on the right side. Yeah, Charles Brammer. Earlier in the program, I said I was probably going to talk about Tierney in the players on the fringe, but when I did a bit of research live on stream, I noticed that she only has made 1 appearance since making the move over to France. So I am wondering if it was a situation where she got injured early in the season, has not returned. But yeah, that's definitely a miss for me, and I think we definitely are light in the position she plays as well. So it's a surprise. Jean-Pierre fan says surely they remain our starting centre back pairing. Well, we're gonna see because, like I said, when I looked at the squad, I'm thinking we need right and left backs. So I know Chantel can play one of those roles, so she might have to move. Float says Swabe sisters did great in the World Cup. I agree. Is it because she gave up the goal against Colombia why you're moving her into the midfield? No, Peter Mystic. It's not necessarily just that. I have just always seen her more as an attacker. And I just feel like most of the time, that's where we get breached on her side of the pitch. I know in the World Cup in the first two games, she had very good ratings, but I think the France game, she played really well. I thought she defended well in that game. I thought the Brazil game, she wasn't as good. Um, and I didn't think that she played terribly in the Colombia game, but that way we conceded is something that I think if Blackwood is playing, it might happen from time to time because I don't think that she quite has the instincts of a defender. Now, Donaldson and all our coaches have done a great job of making her serviceable over there, but I feel like her true superpower is in the attack. And if you notice and you see her play any games for her club in Mexico, they deploy her as an attacker. She plays left side of the attack. You know, in a 4-2-3-1, she's on the left side or the right side cutting in. So, I think she's an attacking player. That's just my personal opinion from watching her play, but plenty coaches that have way more credentials than I have played her at left back. So, who am I? Who am I to say? But that's just my personal opinion. Jean Pierre says it depends on the opponent. Okay, as far as the breaking up Swaby sisters, yeah, overstand. I think the coach will play her at LM. That's where Busby played her in 2019. Yeah, Float. I did some research on Busby's former teams and how he set them up. And yeah, you're right. He did play her in a more attacking role. Jeremy Lee, she plays left midfield or right midfield for the most part. Did Tierney Wilshire retire? Wow, so she got the move to France and retired? Holy, wow. Ballheads TV says, Den is my baller. She's the most skillful player we have, in my opinion. Yeah, she definitely has skill. I think her she has a couple of good traits that I really like. I think her dead ball is good. She can take a good free kick. She's a good cross of the ball. I think what she's added from what I've seen at Pumas is a bit more of an eye for goal when she gets into the positions. But I think a part of that is just due to her playing closer to the goal. And I would love to see her for Jamaica playing a role like that. Taylor Hines from Liverpool is currently in Jamaica. Wow. So I wonder if she and Reese Nelson can go get them things the same time, Who would you replace her with? Jeremy Lee, when you ask me who would I replace her with, who are you talking about? Like replacing Denisha from left back with someone else? Let me know. Or you were just asking if she retired. Okay, because that would be a shock to me. I mean, she's been wanting to go play pro overseas. She get the move. So I would just be shocked if she retired. No, that's all. Met Blackwood works great at left back against a low block, but not against better teams. Okay. So yeah, if you want an attacking threat from left back, yes. But I don't believe that, especially versus Brazil, I don't know if she's the best for that space. I would play her in the attack more personally. But due to the lack of left back options in this squad, I think she might play there. So, but we'll see. We'll see. That's my feelings on it still. Yeah, replacing Denisha with who? Well, when Busby was the coach in the qualifiers before, he did play Chantel Swaby at left back. So I know Lauren did it at times as well. So I would probably be putting Chantel there. But then, who partners Swaby in the middle? Is it Kanya Plummer? Do you give the youngster Reed a chance to partner with a more experienced player like Swaby? We saw Reed partnering with another experienced player who is going to be in my players on the fringe list, Alika Keane, who, obviously plays in Czech Republic, won a cup this season. So congrats to her. A bit older, 30 years of age, but somebody that I thought maybe could have been used for this window. But yeah, it's tough. I think Denisha, we the left back might not be in the squad yet. She might be still developing. She might be not naturalized as yet. There might be a left back coming up in the system in Jamaica that can make that jump to the professional ranks overseas, and then we can use her. But for right now, just based on necessity, I think Denisha might have to play left back. We'll see. I agree with you that she can be better in attack. Maybe she can rotate with Cameron. Well, that's another one that has been used at right back, but again, I don't see the reason to do so. I would just play Cameron in the role that she prefers, whether she can play the lone striker role, she can play in a 2-4-4-2 system, or with two strikers, she can play one of the strikers, or she can play on the right side of a four woman midfield, or the left side. So she pretty much can play all the four attacking roles. The only role that I wouldn't really probably put her in would be the central attacking midfield role. But other than that role, I think she can play any role in any of those systems. But I wouldn't necessarily be using her as a right back. I think she's a poacher, she's a clinical finisher, she's a good crosser of the ball. So I would be playing her in the attack, very similar to Denisha. No, I haven't gotten to the attackers yet, Jeremy. I'm still on the defenders. So the next player, she's listed as a defender, and does play centre back for her club. I believe she's over in, if I'm not mistaken, she's in China. I know she's in Asia somewhere, but that's Vian Samson, another one I thought had a really good World Cup for us. Yeah, she's in Japan. Sorry, she plays in the Wii League, as they call it, for JEF Chiba. So she's out there, been there since basically after the World Cup. Played all 4 games at the World Cup. Had a decent World Cup. I think she had about a 7 rating or so. Go ahead and pull up Vian Samson for everyone. Can play centre back, but Jamaica has used her in the central midfield role, centre defensive midfield role. Very, very good shield for the back line. Not the most overly athletic player, but I do think she's a player that reads the game well and doesn't necessarily get caught out of position very often. So it kind of makes up for her lack of speed. So tidy on the ball, not really gonna wow you with her skills or passing ability, but just somebody that's a temp player, keeps it going, keeps it moving, and one that I think you can count on to be safe on the football, not necessarily lose the ball so much. So there you see 6.93 at the World Cup. So a very solid performance in her 4 starts. Played the majority of all the games. And like I said, she made the move to Japan after the World Cup and has been there since. Let's see, Wii League. Let's see how our team actually did. So she's on Chiba. They finished in 6th place for the season. So not bad, right in the mid-table. 25 points. Yeah, so that is Vian Samson. Again, could potentially be a centre back, excuse me, partner to Alison Swaby if he does decide to move Chantel to one of the wing back spots. Have yet to see her really play this role for Jamaica. So I'm actually interested to see if she could play it. As I said, she's a very good reader of the game, firm in the tackle, good size on her as well. Wondering if she might be making the trek back to the central line. Not sure. Can play number 6 as well, and I'm happy with her there as well. So Vian Samson, definitely one that I think will get some game time in these games. And I'm just curious to see how Hubert Busby sees, or what Hubert Busby sees as her best role. Definitely getting her game time in Japan this season. So very, very good there to see that. So let's see. Does it not have? Let me see here. 23, 24. So she got a 6.8. Wow, so she must have had some kind of extended injury this season. As you can see, made an appearance in November, and then we didn't see her until April, then finished the season pretty much playing most of the games. So she's just recently coming back, it looks like, people, from an injury that kept her out for a lot of the season. So Hopefully she's back to full fitness now. Did have a chance to finish off the season from about April to now. So she should be good enough to give her everything with this Jamaica team in Brazil. But Vian Sampson, somebody that I have time for, good solid player. Let's see. We're really lacking decent specialized fullbacks. I agree. There's some players that just have had the injury bug. One that comes to mind is probably a Shaban Wilson at Birmingham. She just keeps getting injured, but definitely one that I think could play one of those roles. So some of our players in that position have been unlucky as well. And Mimi Van Zanten, while she's listed on this list as an attacker, does play right back for Florida State, so she could be used there as well. So there are some players that we could maybe plug and play. But we'll have to see what the coach goes for. All right, so that's Vian Sampson. Now, the other two defenders on the list are two of the younger brigade. They both play in college, Naya Cardoza and Lauren Reed. Naya Cardoza is going to go into her junior season at Brown University, Ivy League. So, Naya Cardoza is a very, very intelligent individual to get into a school like that. She has been a starter since her freshman year there. She played freshman and sophomore year so far. Very, very solid player in defense. Definitely one of the leaders on the team ever since she got to the university. I remember in the press conference, Hubert Busby did mention her by name. So I believe that his connection to her goes way back. I know she's from Ontario as well. So I know that connection would have come from probably when she was a youth in the youth system there in Canada. So he would have had his eyes on her from then. And she has been representing Jamaica since the under 17 level, people. So, I'm glad to see the continuity when you look at these young players. We get them in the system from early and they come back and play for us at the senior level as well. So Cardoza and Lauren Reed, also another college player at the moment, plays at UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And she's about to enter her senior year, her last season. Also been a starter at this team in the central defense since a freshman. So a lot of experience at the collegiate level. Did have her moments of struggle in the Gold Cup qualifiers. I remember her giving away a penalty. Also, I think she might have given away a penalty in two of the games, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely looked a bit raw, but you can see the potential there. I am interested to see how much Busby utilizes her in this window. I know we didn't get to see Naya in the last set of games, but I think based on Naya's profile, she might be another one that he might look to play one of the wingback roles as well. Lauren, while predominantly playing centre back, probably could operate in this team at a right back role maybe. So that's another one you could maybe see him trying out there. So options in the back line, some younger ones, some more experienced, but that rounds out the defensive list. So two collegiates, couple plying their trade in Europe, one in Mexico. So a nice balance, one in Japan as well. So good mix of professional, collegiate, nice mixture there in the defense. One glaring omission, I think, that brought the score down for me: lack of a recognized right and left back in my eyes. Of course, people will say Denisha Blackwood is a left back. I think she should play further up the pitch personally. So that's why I knocked off a bit off the score of the squad there. But let me just check in with the thing and see. Like, give me an overall number for the defense, people. The defense, like I said, it's gonna mirror. I'm gonna give it less than the overall squad. I'm gonna give it a 7. And that's based on, I think it's lacking a bit in the right back and left back role personally. So, yeah. Francis, bigging up Ontario. Yeah, man, Francis. You have to big up them ends, a lot of Jamaicans over there. Positive says Vian is really a centre back. Yeah, I know. When she was in England at Charlton before leaving, she played centre back. She's always listed in our squads as a defender, but ends up playing central defensive midfield. I guess it's just a staple of the Jamaica teams, as we tend to do the same with the men's squad as well. Know yourself. Big up, bro. Respect for being here. Mr. Galaxy, big up, big up, big up. Yeah, man, like the video as you forward, man. And, yo, if you like the content, drop some super chat, bro. Yeah, man, let me know how much you like it, you know? Imagine if we're doing the same with our senior men's, utilizing some European coaches who could recruit available youth players. Yeah, that would be really good. The show that put me to bed after the ending, the late night show. Up. Yeah, man, Nicardo, you don't know. This is really the time when me getting because my family, my work life kinda mad. So when the time is there, we put out the content because we enjoy doing it. You already know the thing go. Yeah, man, like the video, people. Subscribe if you're new. Oh, next up, Francis say a theme ends that, so him have to represent. Yeah, man. Big up the home base, yes. Yeah, so that's the defenders, people. Let's move right along into the midfielders. So this player, people, an exciting one for me. I remember when I got to see a glimpse of her. I believe it was in the World Cup qualifiers. She played a couple of games, made a couple of appearances. This is Jade Bailey, people. Um, Jade Bailey played in League Two this season in England, and let's see, I believe so she's actually teammate with Izzy Groves at London City Lionesses, and trying to see, I don't believe that the Women's Super League will give me anything restats, so let me try to find her on this other site that I'm looking at. Jade Bailey. Jade Bailey 23 24 stats. Like up the video, people. Share up the content. Make the people them know we're there. All right, let's see here. She is Jade Bailey. This is not up to date at all. I thought she. Let me see. Okay, this should be it now. This one don't normally let me down. All right, yes. No. Why it's like Jade Bailey never do anything this season, you know, people. Anybody with any news on Jade Bailey, let me know. 5 for defense. Twin and Alika missing. Yeah, the defensive twin, I think it's is it Malika that plays around the back or Michaela? I can never remember which one. But yes, the wing back days, I was surprised, especially looking at the lack of that position, you know. Jade coming back from surgery. Okay. So Jade would have been out for the majority of this season then. More than likely. Let me see if I can actually go to her matches. And maybe it will give me a better picture. Hold on. I don't know why it's saying no team. You know, the girl is on this London team. I don't know why it said no team. Our contract done. It's only showing me the League Cup. But she played this game 14th of February, so against the mighty Arsenal. She get a 15 run out. Yeah, so it looked like she hasn't really been on the bench much, just coming back from injury, but definitely a good player, man. I mean, the little bit I saw of her, I was impressed. That she's a very technical player, combative in the midfield as well. So yeah, hopefully she has enough in the tank to give us something on this window so we can really see her play again. One that I definitely liked what I saw in the limited time I got to see her. So Jade Bailey, excited for her to get back into the swing of things with the Jamaica national team. Drew Spence, people. Drew Spence, another one that plies our trade in the Women's Super League in England. As you can see, had a very good season stats-wise, 7.18 on the season for Spurs, and this is in the league. She had a total of 12 appearances, 9 started, 58 minutes per game. She made 2 Team of the Week, had 2 goals, and had 3 assists on the season. So, not the most goal-scoring output from her, but as you can see from our heat map, really played that central midfield role most of the time. Let's just look at some of the most recent games where she was actually playing. I know she scored in the last game of the season a banger as well from outside of the box. Something that we've grown accustomed to seeing from time to time for the Reggae Girlz as well. But in this particular one, she came off of the bench for Sumanen, who was playing right in the heart of midfield there, and came on and had a goal. As you can see in our heat map, most of her damage in the middle third. But as I said, I did see this goal, people, and it was a nice goal from outside the box. So Drew Spence back again. And as I said before, people, they made a long run in the FA Cup this season. She was used pretty sparingly, not really used until the latter stages of the competition. But yes, definitely helped to get them there. And while coming up short on the day, did start in a FA Cup final. So that should be a big one for her. So Drew Spence, definitely one of the main figures now in the team, and somebody that we can definitely rely on. Whether she's deployed in a little bit further in the attack, we'll wait and see. For me personally, I think she does need to play a more box-to-box role. She needs to be involved as much as possible, helping out, whether it's Samson or Jade Bailey in that deeper role, or even a Izzy Groves. I think her partnering someone else, but having a little more freedom to get involved in the attack is probably the best role for her to play. So Drew Spence, another one that we can definitely say is a baller. And yeah, just very, very happy that she chose to represent the Reggae Girlz. So that is Drew Spence, people. Good season for Drew. As I said before, a 7.18 rating, very, very good. She did have a bit of injuries this season. That's why she only had 12 appearances. But when she's available, you can see she was a quality player for Tottenham Spurs this season. So, yeah, good job there by Drew Spence. All right, next on the midfield list, we have Atalanta Primus. So Atalanta left where she had been a few years, London City Lionesses, and made the trek over to, why isn't she coming up, people? Okay, Atalanta Primus, 27 years of age, plays for Southampton now in the Championship. And after give SofaScore ratings, they now show you some Championship stuff. So she had a 6.81 on season, 14 played with 11 starts, 79 minutes per game. She had a goal and an assist. I don't think she's one that the Reggae Girlz fans totally have fallen in love with, but it's a player that I think does an immense job as far as putting in work in the midfield. Now, can she give us a bit more on the ball? I believe she can and should, but I tend to understand why she keeps getting played by all these coaches, because she just has a never-ending motor, and is just willing to put in the hard yards that maybe goes unnoticed to the casual fan. But I do think that she's somebody that definitely is a part of a collective, and once she's not going to let down the team. So just a serviceable, reliable player. Can play deeper in midfield, can play behind the striker. Me personally, I like her a bit deeper. I don't really see that cutting edge final pass from her, at least when she's in the Jamaican colors. So yeah, I kind of like her as a partner to another CDM in a 4-2-3-1. Yeah, and I think she has shown that she can even play deeper, closer to the defense as well, just based on her work ethic. And she's not shy. It says her weakness is ground duels, but I don't really agree with that. I think she does put in a shift where that is concerned. So, yeah, people, I don't agree with SofaScore's analysis there with the ground duels, but what can I say? Everybody don't see the game the same, right? But yeah, she had a decent season this season, as you can see. Started the majority of her appearances, played the majority of the minutes in the game she played. So Southampton, first season with them, I'm sure she'll be happy that she has been able to get in the starting lineup. And at 27, she'll be looking to kick on next season with Southampton, hopefully get them closer to getting to the WSL. As you can see, Southampton this season, let's just see how they ended up. All right, so they were close people. They came fourth. As you can see, they only have one person going up to the next level. That is Crystal Palace. So yeah, they're gonna try to shoot to close that gap to the first place and get to the WSL for the following season. So Primus would love to be a part of that. So that's Atalanta Primus people. Now we have Peyton McNamara. Now Peyton McNamara is another one of the youth brigade. She is still in college, but also is a World Cup veteran, did get some time at the World Cup as well. So let's go ahead and look for Peyton McNamara. Won't really get to see much of her stats from Ohio State, where she attends, but we can look at what she did at the World Cup. Did make 2 appearances, 11 minutes per game, had a 7 against Panama, and did come on in the knockout game as well against Colombia. So Peyton McNamara, as you can see, entered the field of play. I think it was a late sub. Yeah, 79th minute for Vian Sampson, who after 3 hard games in the group stage was definitely struggling to finish that knockout game that day. Peyton got in on the day, and she also got to play as well in the Panama game. Got a 7.0, actually. Good performance from her. Let's see. Coming on in the 87th minute in that one. So, yeah, Peyton McNamara, Ohio State, definitely a highly touted player at the collegiate level. Just pulling up her. I want to go ahead and show you guys her spot on the Ohio State page, because they have a nice little bio. So pull that up. Stop sharing this. So this is Peyton McNamara. All right. So that's her from Norwalk, Connecticut. She's now about to enter her senior year. Let's see what she did. So this is her season last season. 19 games, 19 starts. 1 goal, 2 assists. And she's mainly deployed in that central midfield area for the team. Let's see, she earned some Big Ten accolades. They did make it to the NCAA tournament, but lost in the first round to Pitt, as you can see there. And if you look at this game where they played in the tournament, as you can see, she's also the captain of the team, which is great. Just want to check something. Box score. Oh, them get 6. My gosh. Yeah, central midfield. Yep. So that's Peyton McNamara, people. Ohio State's own. Jamaica's own. One for the future for sure. Let's see. It doesn't have anything. Yeah, so she was a senior last season, so she's done. So Peyton McNamara, that's another one, people. We need to try to figure out what she is up to. because her season would have ended back in November, December time. So I'm not really sure what she has going on now. See if I get anything from the wiki. No, just international career. Anybody with any news on Peyton McNamara, let me know. I'm not seeing anything as far as what she would have done now. Women's World Cup. Yeah, so this is not club info. Yeah. So yeah, nothing really going on with her as far as post Ohio State. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me see if anybody in the chat help me out with this. Only seeing a black screen? Really? How about now? How about now? Let me know if the screen's still black, people. I'm seeing myself, and I was seeing the box before as well, so I don't know what happened. Okay, I am back. All right, cool. So I wonder what was causing that, people, because I've been sharing the screen, no issue. No, maybe just never like that site. I don't know. But Peyton McNamara, another young one, finished with college. Definitely want to see how she progress. Want to definitely see her progress and get into the professional ranks now. Up in us, Andre, what they about? Next player now, people, is one that I believe a lot of the fans took a liking to in the Gold Cup squad, and that is Izzy Groves. Don't think I can search it like that. Israela is how I have to put it. And she's at London City Lionesses. It was actually like Primus left and then Izzy came in, So them always want to keep a Jamaican midfielder, it look like. So she was at London City Lionesses this season. Let me see, because I know championship, I would think, would have her games, right? Because I just saw the games for, let's see, London City avoided relegation. They were in 8th. So why am I not seeing, did she not play any games? Has Izzy been injured? What's going on with Izzy? I'm not seeing any stats for Izzy, people. I could have sworn I did see some the other day, though. Let me check something. Israela Groves 23, 24 stats. Okay, so she made 10 appearances in the championship, 2 in the cup, and 4 in the League Cup. So she played a total of 16 games. Not so bad. Let's see. All right, let me share this screen so you can see what I'm looking at, people. Hopefully it's not black. Let me know if there's any issue with this, people. Israela Groves. Let's see. Easy. All right, this should be good now. Boom. All right, people. How is that looking? You guys can see that, or is the screen black, or what? Just give me a thumbs up or let me know. It looks fine on my end, so I'm hoping that is no issue. But this is Izzy's profile for the season. As I said before, 10 games in the championship, 2 in the FA Cup for women, and 4 in the Leagues Cup for women. She had a total of 1 assist on the season. Another player from Ontario as well, 24 years of age. Yeah, one that I think looks solid in that Gold Cup team. I'm definitely interested to see how she looks in the team that maybe has a few more players for her to play off of and play with. So I want to see how she fits in with this group. I know it's been a long time coming for her with this group as far as getting the paperwork over the line and then getting injuries at the wrong time and what have you. So Really, really interested to see how she fits in with this group. One that I think if she plays up to her full potential, can definitely be somebody that will help us moving forward. Like her energy in the midfield, like her athleticism. Um, at times it looked like maybe she needed a bit too much time on the ball in the last round of games, but I'm hopeful that a part of that was just lack of familiarity with the team. And it wasn't the I don't know if the preparation was the best for that team going into that run of games that they had. But I don't want to make any excuses for her. I'll just keep on watching, and hopefully the things that I saw as potential things to improve are things we can see some improvement in moving forward. So Izzy Groves, definitely want to see her with this team. Where am I right now? Like where do I reside? Or yeah, what do you mean where am I, Jeremy? If you mean where am I, like in the world, I'm in the United States, in Georgia to be exact. Yeah, so it's 12:19 midnight where I am. Yeah, man, but we love it so much, we just have to put it out same way. All right, so that's Easy Grows, and that makes up the entire midfield. Now, we move on to the forwards, people. So, for the forwards, we have a nice list here, people. A lot of players that got a lot of game time playing in some top leagues around the world. The first one on the list here, and it's in alphabetical order, I think, yeah, is well, no, it's not. It's not in any order, but Tiffany Crampton is the first name on the list. She played in Liga Femenina in Spain for Real Betis. So I'm gonna pull up her season on the screen for you. So this is Tiffany Cameron, people. 6.88 in the Liga F, La Liga in Spain, and her season numbers look like this: 28 played, 16 starts, 54 minutes per game, 6 goals on the season to go with. Didn't have any assists on the year. But yeah, 6 goals in 28 appearances, 16 starts. I think if you ask her, she'll probably tell you that the second half of the season was probably better than the first. In the beginning, when she first got there, I think she found it difficult to get into the starting lineup. But eventually, due to her performances and the improvements of them, she eventually worked her way into that lineup for the most part. So yeah, rougher start to the season, I would say. Had the one goal against Real Madrid, which was a big one, got a lot of highlight around the world. And then scored in a win in November over Huelva, the team that got relegated. Another one in January. A little barren run there through the rest of January and February. And then once we got into April, the goals started to flow a bit more again. So as I said, a little bit better end to the season leading into the window. What I did like, where she lacked in goals, I thought that her endeavor in the team, within the team system, kind of forcing the coach's hand, because a lot of our the major bulk of our 16 starts would have come in the second part of the season. So really happy the way she forced her way into the coach's thinking. 32 years of age now, so she'll be wanting to, make the most of this part of her career, and just a player that, really is going to give everything to the team. I don't think she has ever really been deployed in her natural role for Jamaica. She's always playing wide, partly because we just have some really good attacking options. Obviously Bonisha, who's not available, so she might want to put her hand up to actually play in that number 9 role for once. Me, for one, I think the next player I'm about to discuss based on form start over her up front. And this is another one that I don't think gets the credit she deserves from a lot of the Jamaican fan base for whatever reason or the other. But of course, I'm talking about Kayla McKenna. Her team, Villarreal, was not as lucky as Cameron to stay in the top division in Spain. They did finish in second to last, which means they got relegated. But it was no doing of Kayla McKenna. As you can see, a 6.85 on the season. Very, very good season. 28 games played, 27 starts. So perennial starter, 84 minutes, one team of the week on the season, had a total of 11 goals. So 11 goals for a relegated team in the top league in Spain, not bad at all. I think one of her superpowers is her clinical finishing. As you can see, a 30% goal conversion, not bad at all. Did miss 4 big chances, but really not that many when you really think about the entirety of a season. Good with her head, good with either foot. As you can see, 4 left-footed goals, 2 right-footed goals. So just, I think, a very good striker. I think maybe her playing style is what maybe doesn't endear her to the Jamaica fans. I don't think you're gonna get much thrills and skills from her, but I do think when it comes on to positioning, hold up play, simple wall passes as a striker, getting back into position to finish a chance, I think Kayla McKenna gives you that in spades. And I do think actually that, as she hits 27 here now, we're going to see the best of Kayla McKenna in the years to come. So, yeah, definitely one that I think, we'll have to try to find positives in all times. And I think the one positive, well, I don't even want to say positive, but one thing is, one opportunity closed with Bonnie not being there. I think Kayla McKenna definitely is one that should look to take advantage of this opportunity to get more minutes in her preferred role, which I think sometimes she doesn't get the chance to do to the greatness of Bonnie Shaw. So it's gone again. Whoa, why is this happening? All right, people, we'll get a sharing a break for now and just go and talk to the people. Zine, I don't know why that keep happening, people. I'm not sure. As I said, I just went on the YouTube proper and just tried to go live straight from YouTube just to see how that worked. I like how the camera look and everything, and I think the timing of it is more in sync, but I need to do some more adjustments to how I bring the content, because every time. Okay, so it came back. All right. So, but I wonder why it keeps chipping out like that, though. I wish I knew why that was happening. But just keep letting me know. I'll keep checking the comments to make sure that I'm not on a black screen. So let me see. Is the screen black now, or is it good? But Kayla McKenna, people, I'm very excited to see what she have to offer in this window. Very, very excited. All right. So the next player on the list now is Paige Bailey Gale. Now, Paige Bailey Gale had a very successful season this season. She did leave Crystal Palace and move on to Newcastle. I think it's probably going to say Palace on here, but that's not right. She moved on to Newcastle this season, people. So before she left, she played 7 games for Palace this season, did not score a goal, had 1 assist. Now, she typically for Palace would play a wing role, right wing to be exact. But since she has moved to Newcastle, she's now being deployed in a center forward role, actually number 9. And she closed off her season there very, very well, gaining them promotion actually to the championship next season. So, kudos to them. They ended up winning the National League, I believe it's called. I think she might actually move to the championship too, I want to say, before getting to the championship proper. But by any case, they won their league. They moved up in the ranks. I think she's going to be the level below the championship next year. But as I said before, we got to see her in a different role this season, playing with Newcastle since she moved there. So let me see if I can pull up her stats from Newcastle for you, because she was quite prolific in her short time there. Okay, here she is, Paige Bailey Gale. All right, 23, 24. Okay. Yeah, so I don't believe, so it's not giving me anything of our Newcastle time, but just because I follow her on Instagram, I did see her progression since she moved there, and I know that she led them to, promotion from their league. So, scored a lot of goals for them as well. So yeah, Paige Bailey Gale, let's see if the coach is a believer of her through the middle, because that is where her coach at Newcastle thought that she would get the most joy out of her, and indeed did she give them some, leading them to promotion from their league. So Paige Bailey Gale, well done to you. Good season this season as well. Move down a level, but it's okay if you're producing, developing. Now you'll move back up a level again. Let's see if you can continue it next season. You became a quick fan favorite for the Newcastle team, scoring all those goals for them. Next, we have Trudy Carter. Trudy Carter plies her trade now in Liga MX at Athletic San Luis. Let's see. I had her pulled up on a page before. Let me see if I still have it up. Trudy Carter. Let me go to this actually. Trudy Carter. Yeah, so Trudy is at Atletico San Luis this season. Made 17 appearances in the Clausura, which is the most recently concluded competition in Mexico. Sadly, San Luis ended up at the foot of the table, so they will be relegated to the next division next season. But she made 17 appearances, playing a total of 1,385 minutes, and also scored 5 goals for them. So decent returns for her from a relegated team. Was deployed either on the right wing or in midfield for them. So, again, a player that I think can play multiple roles, can play behind the striker, can play either wing. Not sure if she can play in a deeper role in midfield. I don't know if she has the strength for that or even the mindset for it. But at 29 now, definitely looking to, stamp her class in this kind of Jamaica setup. Just curious to see where the coach sees her best playing. For one, I tend to like her a little bit more central. I don't think she's the most pacey player, but she does have decent ball control and technique. So, and has a decent eye for that slip through pass as well. So I don't mind her in that role behind the striker, if you ask me. So that is Trudy Carter playing in Mexico now. Next on the list would be Cameron Simmons. So Cameron Simmons transferred to the national champions Florida State from Tennessee. So she'll be teaming up with Mimi Van Zanten over there at FSU. And Van Zanten actually is the next player on the list. So I'll go ahead and talk about them both. Cameron Simmons, of course, a veteran of the last World Cup. Been around the team now for, a good year or two or so. Also came through the ranks at the youth level. Of course, her father represented Jamaica. Her brother represents Jamaica at the U17 level already. So, definitely a footballing family with the Simmons. And the same can be said for the Van Zantens, Mimi's older sister, Kiki, made her debut professionally before getting injured, sadly. Probably why she's not in this squad as well. But yeah, she also had her collegiate career at Notre Dame. So, I'm sure both the Simmons and Van Zanten families are very, very, proud of their children as they are putting in the work in the footballing world. But yeah, for me, Cameron Simmons definitely one for the future. I think she can play either striker or on the wing. I think for Florida State this season, when I look at the team they have coming back, they had one of the best strikers in the country in Dudley. So I believe that Cameron will probably play one of the wings for Florida State this season in an attacking three. So I'm just curious to see how this coach sees her as well. I think she can play through the middle, but I think she has enough quality and ball control and technique to also play wide. So, we'll see. I think her best role right now might be in a two striker role, but if we play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-2 or 4-3-3, I think she more than likely will play on one of the wings. So we'll see. Mimi Van Zanten, as I said, listed as a forward here, but plays for Florida State as a right back and did so last year. Started as a freshman on a national championship team. So very, very highly rated for sure. Mimi Van Zanten, very, very talented player. Good speed, good technique, very composed on the ball. Florida State is a team that pretty much dominates possession in their games, and she definitely contributes to that overlapping, getting involved in the attack. I've seen her even invert in certain times for Florida State as well. So comfortable, receiving the ball in the midfield. Just overall a very technical, gifted player. And the next forward on the list, I think, is probably the one that most Jamaican fans had the highest hopes for. other than probably your Bunny Shaws of the world going into the last World Cup, and that would be Jodie Brown. So Jodie Brown burst onto the scene at the 2019 World Cup as a teenager, and that led her to get a scholarship to Florida State, where she has had a banner career. Won a national championship back to back, leaving school, recently graduated. So congrats to her on getting her degree. But I will say I'm a bit surprised at her, what she's accomplished since she graduated and since that season has ended. If you look at some of her teammates from that FSU team that have moved on, one that comes to mind is her Nigerian teammate, Jennifer Echegini, who, as soon as the college season was over, headed off to Italy to start playing for Juventus in the Serie A. So yeah, when you compare that to what Jodie Brown has done, which is pretty much not really push on professionally yet, I would think that this summer is going to be a huge one for her. So she would be taking these two games as an opportunity to perhaps, garner some interest from some places. I think when I look at it realistically, I would love her to be in Europe. I think that's the best place for her development personally. The NWSL, which is in the US, would also be somewhere where I would think she would have some suitors with her NCAA season that she had, or career that she had. But with the season already started, I guess that ship has sailed. So is it that we just have to wait to see where she can land in Europe. Another option for her, as we've seen a couple of the Jamaican players take up lately, we have 3 players in the Mexican league. Maybe that's a league where Jodie Brown could play a couple of seasons to kind of get her development going professionally, and not make the big jump over to Europe right away. That could be something. I think personally, if it is a European move and it's one of the top leagues, I think Spain would probably be the best fit for her. I don't know that she's quite ready physically to take on some of that demand that might happen in England or Germany, for example, or even Italy for that matter. But I think Spain might be a better fit in terms of maybe it not being the most physical league that's out there, a little more technical, a little more emphasis on ball possession, and maybe it's not so much about the speed transition as some other leagues around the world. So if La Liga in Spain is not the move right away, is a Liga MX a viable option for her to try to, maybe ensure that she gets a little more playing time starting out her career and just improve on the development and the physicality before making the big jump. But I am really, really, I've been watching with a keen eye to see what Jodie Brown's future is looking like the immediate future, right after this window. What's gonna happen with her, because I would love for her to secure a club somewhere around the world before the season starts up in August, September time. The last player on the list is Soleil Washington, another player that's going to be at FSU. So we'll have 3 players at FSU now. Of course, she's going into her freshman year at FSU. Definitely a highly, highly touted recruit. I think every school in the country wanted her signature. Soleil Washington did get some appearances in the World Cup as well. Very, very young, obviously only about 18 years old at the moment. And yeah, I think that Soleil is one for the future, man. She's definitely showed a lot of promise, a lot of I think you can see that this girl definitely has the potential to be one of the top players for us if she continues on the same trajectory. Really curious to see how she fares in this FSU team full of stars. I mean, I've been watching this team for a couple of years now since Jodie Brown's been there, and they just have a conveyor belt of talent. So I'm really curious to see how far she can force her way into the thoughts of the coach moving into this season. I mean, even the role that she plays on the right or left side, that's somewhere that Cameron probably would be a bit ahead of her just due to her experience and a couple of age years on her. But we'll see. We'll see. Soleil is definitely talented, and I know that the coach is not afraid to play freshmen as he showed last season with Mimi Van Zanten and some others. So yeah, I think that is the full 23 people, all all the entire list. We have gone through, we have given a bit of a breakdown of how they have done so far this season. Some I could not give you so much details because they're in college and there's only so much you can get from the colleges. Soleil was in high school last season. All I can tell you is she scored a bag of goals, people. I know in her club for the ECNL is what they call the youth divisions here. She plays for Concord Fire Central, which is the central branch of the club that my daughter plays for here where I live, which is Concord Fire South. And she's a legend for Concord Fire Central. I mean, they ended up winning the national championship. She was the leading goal scorer in the entire competition. So Soleil Washington, believe me, people, is a big, big, big draw, or a big get, I should say, for Jamaica. I mean, it's definitely a player that the US national team would be looking at for sure. So yeah, Soleil Washington, big up yourself. So glad that you chose to represent Jamaica. Yeah. So I see some people dropping some names in the comment section, and yeah, these are some of the names that I had on my list as misses. So when I go through this list now, I'm gonna tell you. So in defense, I believe Alika Keane is a miss. Champions League veteran, one of the more experienced campaigners we have as a Jamaican national around the world. Yes, her age at 30, not the youngest anymore, but again, the women's game tends to have players play a little bit longer into their age. So I don't think the 30 mark is as big as in the men's game. And that's just what I believe personally. If you look at a lot of the top players in the world, a lot of them are the wrong side of 30, right? Now, I will say lately, the women's game is kind of starting to mirror the men's game a bit more, where we see these superstar 18, 19, 20, 21-year olds coming in and being big, 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 in their respective teams. So yeah, I think Alika Keane was a miss on the defensive line. Also, I will say, not really due to the fault of the coach, but I just feel like she's a miss because I think that she has the quality to make this squad, and that would be Shaban Wilson from Birmingham City. Definitely a natural right back, somebody that could play that role for us. But I think she's just been unlucky as far as injuries are concerned. Did miss some time this season as well. So she has just been one that just can't get rid of that injury bug. So not necessarily a miss on the part of the coach picking her, but just a miss overall. I think this is a player that I would have liked to see in this team. Another one that I will say is a miss, and I think somebody just put this in the chat, is Adam Alokin. She is in Hearts now in the top division in Scotland, and she had a pretty decent season over there as well. Let me try to pull up her stats so I can tell you exactly. How you spell her name? Ada Melokun. No? Something I'm not spell right, See what the man spelled in the chat? Adamolekun. Yeah, I think that is right, Mr. Dre. Adamolekun. Yes, Sade. Call her Sade. Adamelokun. But she's not coming up. Alright, let me try this. Adamelokun. Sade. There she goes. Adamo Lakon. Ah, that's why. Adamo Lakon. Adamo Lakon. Make sure I pronounce it right. I made the pronunciation police. Adamo Lakon. Alufolosade. Alufolosade. Adamo Lakon. Say that 10 times, people. All right. So in the Scottish Women's Premier League, She had a total of 30 games played, 5 goals and 5 assists. So a good return, playing predominantly as a striker or an attacking midfield at times. She's only 23 years of age now. I mean, this is a player that Busby has used before in his previous stint. So to see her progress through the ranks and not be in college anymore, playing professionally, and to not get a chance in this team is a bit weird for me. As I said before, when I went through the attackers, we had about 3 players that are in college in this list, and it's just kind of a bit strange that a player that he has a history with, that I think has improved and developed over the past few years, now playing professionally in Scotland. I would think that she should have been in this team for sure. But hey, we can't pick all of them, right? But me personally, I would have had Sade in this mix. I would have had her in this mix, especially when you factor in that she and the coach have a history already, and yeah, she's developing. She has developed. So yeah, those to me were excuse me, those to me were the 3 that I would have had in. Um, one of Naya or Lauren probably could have been out of this one. And I would have had Alika Keane in there as another centre back cover. Also could play the right back role, has the athleticism to do so. And then as far as the forward is concerned, I would say, one of Cam, Jody, or Soleil probably could have missed out, and I would have put Sade in. Or maybe Paige could have gotten dropped and I would have had Sade. Not sure which one. I think Trudy offers something a little different to everyone, so I would probably keep her in the list. Jody hasn't really been playing football. That's the only thing, right? She's just been training, I guess, with Florida State. So, I know she's like the darling of everyone and a lot of people love her, but just based on who's sharp right now and match fit, I don't see how Sade is not there. I think that was a miss. Yeah, man, Travis, so I'll keep the fire blazing, man. Always. Tierney Wilshire, yeah. Mr. Dre, I just need to do some research because this must be because she's not available or is injured or something. I don't understand because we don't have left backs or right backs really in the squad. So I don't understand how she's not there. So that's a weird one. Positive vibrations. Look, I understood Melissa's absence because when you look at, I don't think she had a better season than Cameron. I don't think she had a better season than McKenna. I don't think she's and I don't think she had a better season. It's arguable if she had a better season than Paige, who like I said, has been converted to pretty much a striker with her new club. But yeah, the Tierney one, I don't think that she's available, bro, because it's not like there's other left backs, right backs picked in this team. She's just not there, and they don't have other left and right backs there. So yeah, it must be injury. It must be. Based on how she performed in the World Cup, in the Canada games, she was one of the ones that you'd say, yeah, man, she's, Yeah, Travis, it is pretty competitive now. I mean, I am not beating them for not picking these players. I'm just saying these players definitely are very close. Alika Keane, Adam Alokin, Sade for sure. You know, uh Tierney Wilshire not available, I think. That's why she's not there, but she could and should be there. So yeah, I mean, there's a solid, I'd say, 32 to 35 players that probably arguably can make this team. So yeah, it's always gonna be a nice debate and breakdown to see, who these players are and why they've been picked. Yeah, Shania Hales, that's another one, people, that I'm not gonna lie and say that she was in my list because I had those 3 players in mind. But Shania Hales is a good shout. I mean, she's in the WSL at Bristol City. But I guess the knock on her would be, she has not really kicked on in terms of the playing time. So she had 15 appearances with only 3 starts, playing 22 minutes per game. She went the entire season with no goals, playing the striker role. Yes, in limited minutes, but yeah, I don't believe that that would have been enough to warrant her getting into this team. I guess the argument could be, boy, she's probably at a higher level and at a better league than some of the other players, especially when you factor in that some of the players are in college. But I do think that Shania would have been picked as an out and out striker. And again, Tiffany Cameron, Kayla McKenna, Paige Bailey Gale just statistically had better seasons and played more minutes. So that could be a part of the reasoning. Also for whatever reason, Shania has been on the outside looking in when it comes to Jamaica squads recently, was not in the World Cup squad. So, not sure how she makes her way back in, but definitely a player we should not forget about because she is at a very high level in terms of her club football. So Shania Hales definitely wasn't on my list, but I will concede to who brought her up. Was that Mr. Dre? Yeah, Mr. Dre. Oh no, it was positive vibrations. Okay, yeah, Mr. Dre telling me that what I said. Yeah, players are pretty young too. That's all good for the future. Yeah, man, the players are all pretty young to be honest. Yeah, most of these players are 21 and under, or not most, but a lot of them are. Um, but yeah, people, let's see what time. Yeah, 1 hour and 50 minutes. So yeah, people, we're putting a nice shift tonight. Let me check one thing. I want to make sure that I never leave any stone. We've kind of been touching on the youth movement as we went through and I described the players. So I got a feel for, how old the players are and all these things. Kiki Van Zanten sadly got a big injury in like our third or fourth game in the US Women's League. She will not be available. She's injured currently. So yeah, I think the sisters might have both made it potentially, but the elder one that is professional now, she's actually injured. Oh yeah, so the last one on my I had a one more name on my list, and it was the defensive twin because I think the attackers were okay as far as the wing spots are concerned. Again, one could argue that one of Soleil, Cameron, or Jody is maybe three too much at that age group, and they all play similar roles. Could that one of those spots have gone to a player that's actually playing professionally, like the one of the Days twin that attacks? I think out of necessity though, the defensive sister, which I believe is Michaela, she no, okay. So Michaela is the forward. So Michaela could have made this team, people. I think. Because I believe she's playing in the second division in France, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that and make sure I'm not talking rubbish. So Days. Michaela and Malika. So Michaela is in D2. Yep. She had 20 appearances with 5 goals this season. So yeah, I mean, she's only 24, but I think she should feel a bit hard done by for real because she's playing professionally, playing a lot of games, playing a lot of minutes, had some goals on the season. Let's check out her sister as well. I believe her sister is also playing somewhere overseas. Yeah, she's playing in the Danish league. And she had 13 games played with 984 minutes. Yeah, so I think both of these players can feel a bit aggrieved. I think the defensive one, due to necessity and her being a natural left or right back, I think that she could have definitely been in this team for sure. Has her listed here as a centre back. I'm not sure if she's playing centre back for a club, but I like the looks of what I saw with her in the wing back role or the full back role. So yeah, that's one that definitely could have been there. And the twin as well, they could have been there too. So yeah, I mean, did they overdo it with the youth movement? Because Soleil college, Cameron college, Jody just out of college, not playing pro yet. These twins both pro, one in the second division in France, one in the top division in Denmark. So yeah, I mean, they could have been there for sure. Um, but look, these are good problems to have, people. The coach is gonna analyze and see what's going on, and I have to admit, in his interview press conference, to his unveiling, I guess you could say, he did mention that in future windows we could look to see some more implementation of the Gold Cup players. So maybe the Days twins are a couple of the ones that we could see in the future. Maybe he's trying to phase them in little by little. Maybe the ones that made it this time might not be in the next one, to go along with the girls that we had before. We'll see what it looks like as far as him integrating more and more players. But I will say, of the group that was in that team that didn't get here, I would say the three that I would most want to see back would be Alika Keane and the Days twins. Those would be the three that I would really want to see back, implemented, and trying to see how they mesh with some of the World Cup girls that we used in the last World Cup. So yeah, people, closing in on the 2 hour mark. Again, let me just remind everyone, like, share, and subscribe. Have a big, big, big show tomorrow. We're going to be back on the regular platform. So hopefully we don't have any black screen foolishness going on. We'll have the first interview of all time on the channel, people. We're going to be talking with somebody that is going to try to help to get that stadium filled. We're going to be talking with one of the directors of 876 Stream. Yeah, so look out for that, people. I will be dropping the thumbnail. You should see it. Probably won't see it tonight. You probably see it in the AM tomorrow. Prepping for that. It's going to be at 2 o'clock Eastern time, which is 1 o'clock in Jamaica. As I said, it's going to be a live show interview. I am going to someone earlier today asked to have my call-in set up. I'm going to try my best tomorrow, people, to have a WhatsApp call-in link on the show. So if people want to ask questions directly to my guest, definitely I will have the option. If that doesn't work out, we will definitely be looking at the comments for questions as well. So we will be talking to one of the 876 Stream directors tomorrow, trying to get some more information as far as what we can look forward to as far as marketing is concerned, with an eye on June 6th and beyond, just to see, what marketing moving forward for the Reggae Boys is going to look like, with 876 Stream involved. So yes, people, look forward to that. It's going to be a nice place to get some more information, learn someone else who is going to be instrumental in pushing this football out to the people and getting the fans in the stadium, and just building up a buzz around the team and the players and everything to do with the team. So yeah, man, looking forward to that, people. Making my interview debut. Should be smooth sailing though, nothing we can't handle, people. We did our research and we're ready to go. So yeah, look forward to that thumbnail, people. Go ahead and drop a early like on it and be present. We want to make sure, say, we have a productive time when we do the interview. So make sure to tune in, people. And for all the people that stayed and saw this breakdown of the squad, thanks for coming in to the building. Yeah, I can't believe I start the live and never put on my jersey star. It's a disrespecting, but yeah, I should have had my jersey on, people. That's not good. I'm looking at this white t-shirt now and I'm saying, why didn't I put my jersey on? But yeah, but just start the live, people, because I'm ready to go and it was time. I just forgot to put on the shirt. So yeah, didn't do that on purpose, people. But big up on yourself. Thanks for being here. Yeah, man, any final thoughts you want to drop, let me know now, because I'm soon click off of the video. And yeah, just want to big up the people that have been around from the start and stayed with me and things. So yeah, man, float management, Toffee Rudy, positive vibrations there from the start. Respect my brother. Charles Brahma, big up yourself. Kevin J, my team did hail you when you forward, but big up yourself, Kevin J. Jam PL fan, let me know so I can share the screen. So big up, big up, big up. RR still wanting apology, right, boss? Ballheads TV on the check-in. Big up yourself, everybody. Check out Ballheads TV content. Very, very creative individual. Man, I'll have him character them put out more. I'm waiting to see what other characters him come up with next, you know. Grandpa Ballets have him segment I done the place. Ishmael King, bless up yourself. Jeremy Lee, yeah man, big up yourself. Peter Mystic drop a one comment, big up yourself, Peter Mystic. Yeah man, respect, respect, respect. Know yourself, bless up, bless up, bless up. Francis with Next Up Sports, big up yourself. Ontario in the building. Yeah, man. Brando Debout. Sandre, bless me up. Big up yourself, Sandre. Who else? Danny Dre did forward for a little bit. I hope Danny Dre did stick around a little bit and get some more knowledge of the Reggae Girlz. I mean, know Danny's a man. If him not know about something, you know, him going to want to learn about it. So, I mean, know him never know all of them girls. So, Danny Dre probably taking a lot of the show as well. Peso did bless me up forwarding and say, keep the fire burning always. Will, brother. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, people, it look like we are forwarded to the end of the show. Again, I want to say thank you to all those who tuned in. Thanks for the likes. I see the likes steady increasing, so big up on yourself. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, be sure to leave your comments in the comment section and keep the conversation going that way, right? I said a lot about all the players tonight. If you disagree, agree, you just want to drop a point, let me know. Did I leave out anybody out of the players on the fringe? You know, we had a few names that we thought, you know, came pretty close to making this squad. What do you think? Also, people, if you want, you can drop your predicted 11 in the comment section. That would be a nice thing to do. I didn't really get to that point here because I didn't plan on sharing the screen, so I didn't have my lineup put in. But before the game on Saturday, we'll do a show for sure and try to predict the 11 that Hubert Busby might use against Brazil. Also in that show, we'll show the Brazil squad as well and try to let you familiarize yourselves with those players as well. But for the immediate future, people, as I said earlier, look out for a thumbnail to be dropped for a live interview show at 2 o'clock Eastern, which is 1 o'clock in Jamaica. We're going to be speaking to the director from 876 Stream. So yes, people, look out for that. Once again, it's your boy Jason Guna TV, and don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to the content. Yeah, man, anybody who is too late to watch this now and it's them just a catch it, yeah, man, when you wake up a morning, just drop it, you know, turn it on while you're doing your workout, listen. Great information. Just wanted to give the Reggae Girlz their devoted time. I think they deserve it. And yeah, man, Reggae Girlz all the way. Hopefully we can pull out some more shockers in Brazil. All right. Big up on yourself, people. Jason Guna TV. And we out of here, people. Before we go, I have to play this for you guys, people. I have to play this for you guys, people. The people them a drop dub plate left, right, and center. So hear this. Grandstand bleachers. Hold on. Grandstand bleachers. DR get a 4-0. Them try tackle Gray, but him have too much skill. We say World Cup, so stadium a fit fill. Whoever we book, better write them will. Lemby and Lee, them a lock down the wing. Casey and Bobby pass ball on a string. Backline secure, we are locked down with team. Jamaica 2 when they hunt them a sing. Hear me now, you are here cool. When time we score, Boza sink 1 and him rise up before. Bernard and Low, left boy ankle sore. Him a get results, him a work with a core. Ease! I'm not getting no more people. I preview that. Like I said, it got the engineer, you know? Mix down that thing there. Yeah, man. Whole heap of tune a drop, people. Whole heap of tune, whole heap of dub plate. But to be honest, people, the one to me where connect right now is a artist who I never know. I only know him as a YouTube commenter, you know. But him do him thing, people. 2026. Drop the flag them, drop the emoji them. Big up yourself, J-Shy. Goal. 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 When we spark out down the line, Dixon just give a boy a pile. See fast, just cut the body line, them get panic. The robots a tackle and the crowd is static. Bobby up the ball, none of them can touch it. Pin up start the play and find a pass down the line to one down. Not this time we fire rocket. And the keeper couldn't stop it. Goal. 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 Yeah, people, I hate that. Close off the show with some music, some dub plate for the match. Yeah, man. June 6th, National Stadium. Don't forget, get your tickets at JFF website. Use the promo code Jason Guna TV if you want a discount, 10% off of your ticket. Them, see? Yeah, man, it catchy, man. Jay Shy going with that thing, man. Right now, Jay Shy, like a lot of the veteran artists with them dub plate do them thing, but Jay Shy one really connect because it a little more tailored with the player them name in it, and you know, yeah, man, it can go on, man. And tomorrow, people have the interview coming in the day, forward in the daytime, but we're going forward back again in the night and do a little Reggae Boys news because there was some good news today and there was also some bad news today. So we're gonna go through the good and the bad and the in between tomorrow. But definitely the next thing to look forward to on the channel, as I said before, 2 o'clock tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, 1 o'clock in Jamaica, anywhere from 7, 8 o'clock in the Europe ends. We have an interview on the channel for the first time with an 876 stream director. We're gonna get a little more information as far as what it's gonna look like marketing wise moving forward with this Jamaica Reggae Boys team. So yes, look out for that, people. As I said before, I'm going to drop the thumbnail early in the day so you can see it, turn on the notification, like the video before it starts, and get it in the algorithm from early out. Zine? So do me that favor tomorrow. Big up on yourself, people. All those watching on the replay, respect as well. And yeah, man, we're out of here. Goal!